Hi, Dipika.
Hello, Robyn.
It's so
Hey.
great to be connecting today for the purpose of sharing our upcoming
Absolutely.
immersion in Bali, and to just share some thoughts that we've had. We've been talking with each other and just going, wow, we really need to share this and allow people to be in on what's going on around this for us, and to really come into those truths of, is this for you and are you ready? So we were talking about, are you ready to choose growth, joy, and to renew? We were talking about those aspects of the remembrance retreat that we're doing. Deepika, when we were talking about that, there was so much that came up around those three areas. What do you think that they mean for people in this, in our upcoming retreat?
Well, I think it means for people that things are not working as they would like to be, as people would like them to be, fully and completely in their lives at this moment. So there is a yearning for joy, for growth, for renewal. And that's exactly why we have collaborated and envisaged and created and manifesting this meticulous retreat on remembrance so that we can come back into that place of being, to have the experience of growth, to have the experience of joy, to have the experience of renewal, and to weave in a living experience all the wonderful wisdom of Ayurveda in immersion. So we're not giving a talk or a discourse or a training or a half-day workshop or even a one-day workshop. We're coming together with this magnificent group of souls that are earnestly ready now, have said yes to remember, so that they can experience Ayurveda in their own pulsating, enlivened way in their very being. It's not something that we give to them on a piece of paper or talk to them and they take it home conceptually, but it's done so in a way that they are immersed in it with us. We're all immersed in it together in this extraordinary environment, conducive to just let go of the stories that have stopped us being this growth, this joy, this renewal, and allowing ourselves to become. To become what, not anything that we're not already, but to become
What we are.
By our divine nature. And
So
so it's so exciting, Rob.
it
It really is. It's just so exciting, and it's such a divinely timed opportunity to have a dedicated environment and space conducive for this purpose.
And I love those, choosing growth and joy and renewal. And one of the things that we first came up with was, does your cup need replenishing? Does your cup need replenishing?
Regularly.
Because both of us need replenishing. Need to replenish our cups often, and we're very aware of that. But also in the work that we do, we come across so many women who are constantly telling us that they feel that they are being drawn to the very end of the energy that they have and the things that they can give. And so what we've both found is that in that, we know that we're at that stage of depletion, on the energetic, spiritual, physical, emotional levels. And we want that, the growth, the joy and the renewal, but do we give ourselves permission? So the second thing is, are we giving ourselves permission to do it? And there are so many things that will always be in the way
Always.
be in the way.
Always.
I know, and you, Dipika, in my life, the first time that I did study for myself, that I took myself away, my children were very small, and it was a big heart-wrenching thing to do that, to go, you know what, I'm just going to take these 1 weekend a month and go and do this study because my cup needs filling. And it was something that was very much, we're going to get into this a bit later, but the act of courage and the
total courage.
myself.
It takes courage to give yourself permission. It takes courage to take action. Yes. It takes courage to make change. It's not comfortable.
It's
Robyn,
not comfortable.
Whether we have young children, teenage children, adult children, grandchildren, whether we're caring for our aging parents, whether there's a dog and a cat and a fish and a budgerigar, cows to milk, horses to, whatever it is,
work to do,
a community to care for, we all have commitments.
Yeah.
We all have responsibilities. And in order that we can do these more fully, with more joy, with more celebration, with more love, we have to courageously say, yes, I'm doing it. Because the yes comes up from the heart before the no. Are you crazy? I can't do this. I've got too many responsibilities. It's like, well, duh, we all do. We're human beings.
Yeah.
We're interdependent. We have relatedness to every being on the planet. Yes. Who are we not to say yes? Who are we to let the head kick in and say it's not timely? We can and we do, but it will never become timely.
No. And Dipika, I know for me it's how do I know that this is truly right? How do I know that this is for me? Because there's so much that comes into my space or into our spaces. How do we know that we're not being selfish? How do we know that actually this is for our nourishment? This is actually for us. So the feeling of yes, I want to do this, over this is very selfish. There's that struggle there, isn't there, that we have of, oh gosh, I really, really want to do it, but if I do it and I say yes, then I'm being so selfish. So what would you say, Dipika? How do you make the choice? How do you know that it's right to say yes and go, you know what, I so absolutely need this to fill up my cup. I need this because to be of benefit to others, I need first to get this renewal. So how do you get that, Dip?
I think it's very selfish not to practice self-care regularly. I think it's very selfish not to practice self-love. We were divinely created for a purpose, and to not practice nourishing, renewing activity, to not take retreat where we go into quietude and remove ourselves from our worldly responsibilities so that we can renew, so that we can replenish, so that we can access, listen in, cultivate more listening awareness, so that we can create and be of greater service, is selfish. I think that how I do it, it took guts, and it still takes guts.
Every time.
I have to take vigilant care of myself, or I'll second guess myself. If I get tired and weary, I'll second guess myself. I'll second guess myself in how I serve, in the contribution and the value of it, in the quality of my being as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a neighbor, as a wife, as a practitioner. So many roles. But I got really good at saying yes to the calling of the heart, to the calling that defies logic. I cannot logically make sense of the greatest decision making I have made in my life. I tell you what, if logic had kicked in, I would not be a wife. I would not be a mother. I wouldn't be a pulse reader. I wouldn't be many, many things. I'd never have lived in an ashram, There's so many things I wouldn't do, but I listen to my heart.
And you know what?
If it is timely in the divine grand scheme of things, what if I say yes instead of what if it doesn't work? What if I can't afford it? What if it upsets people's conventional way of viewing how I function and live my life? So who are we not to take retreat? And that's exactly why this immersion retreat again is created in an environment that removes us far enough away that we can get clear without interference on just not doing anything, but just simply being in the great company of ourself.
And that overarching theme, Dipika, that we're bringing in of remembrance, you know, the pilgrimage of being, and the immersion that is Ayurveda, that is living Ayurveda.
And you have to take a pilgrimage. Sometimes because a pilgrimage is a sacred journey. You know, and pilgrims since time immemorial have consciously, courageously made that journey in order to attain, to become something inwardly. They cannot achieve by not taking the action, by not undertaking that very journey with, you know, it's purposeful. It has intention. They put their attention to it and then they undertake it. They don't resist it. And
they allow.
And that's what this is. Because it's really, remembrance is not putting anything in that is not already there. Remembrance is simply letting go of that gets in the way. So it takes guts, it takes courage to give permission and say, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm not selfish. I'm self-loving.
And I love
it's now. It takes, you got to do it now.
You've got to do it now. And just exactly what you just said.
Because there won't be a tomorrow, honestly.
No, there won't be a tomorrow, and there's not a next year, and there is only ever now. And exactly what you just said, Dipika, it's letting go of whatever is getting in the way. You know, letting go of all the things, and we can bring in as many things as we want. And that's the fear. You know, that's the comfort. The comfort is being in where we are, in the known. And the courage is stepping out of that into where your heart's calling is.
Absolutely. That's why we're offering it, Robyn. Because if it were any other way, neither of us would be offering it, because we could stay in the victimhood of why it would be a wonderful thing to collaborate and create these retreats. But you look at everything on our plates, on our, you know,
in our lives,
human responsibility platter, and it just wouldn't come to be. But it's that saying yes to that divine spark, to that impulse, and really doing it out of love.
Which is exactly like
do it from love.
Which is exactly, you know, exactly as you said, where we are, why we've done it. We felt called.
And the people that are participating, this magnificent group of souls that are participating, they've been called to it. They've been called to it now. And you know, I'm sure everybody who's participating in this, ourselves included, is making sacrifice, because that's life. That's what we do. But that's part of the pilgrimage. That's part of the remembering. And it's really, we just have to get ourselves there too. That's the great thing. We have to get ourselves to that place to renew, because it's not about doing anything once we get there. It's simply about being. And that's the beauty of this. And that's where it's such, again, a living experience of Ayurveda. It's been meticulously designed so that over the 6 days that we're together, it's experienced through the very fabric of our being in so many ways, so that it becomes part of us, so that we're not only renewed, but we come away with practical life skills to continue to implement this change, to continue to implement and action new patterns, new habits, new ways of being that can cultivate this very ongoing joy that can cultivate ongoing evolvement and renewal. So it's really, it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, Dipika, and it's just this coming together of, as I say, like-minded people in a sacred space at a sacred time with a sacred mission.
Yeah, and, it's quite auspicious.
It is
it's quite auspicious.
Yeah.
So, anybody who is feeling called to come, but it's there's 100 reasons why it doesn't feel timely. I really invite each of these people to look at, well, what is it that's really stopping you from saying yes to yourself right now? Because if it's going to be a little uncomfortable to put this into action, to do it, it's gonna, everything that eating broccoli can be uncomfortable the first time. It mightn't taste great, but it's good for you. And you grow well from it. So it's kind of like you've got to go through the comfort for the contentment.
Yeah.
To be able to take place. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to think of how we keep doing the same thing and we keep walking in the same circle and we create the same memories and we create the same pathway all the time. And we end up with more, getting deeper and deeper into this stuck place where, people, we never say yes to the thing that is at our heart because we're so far down in it. And the courage is actually take a step in the other direction. So when you get to the point where you go, the commitment is here, the commitment is here, you actually go, you know what, I'm going to turn right and I'm just going to step into this powerful, bit scary space over here.
Totally. And it's applied to all situations in life, throughout our lives, from the moment we take birth and until we leave this earthly realm. There's constant opportunity, there's constant thresholds, but it takes guts and it does take courage. But this is success. This really is sacred success. It's success is being able to constantly take action. So it's we're conversing today about the upcoming Bali retreat, about remembrance, but it's true of every situation in our lives. And it's taking responsibility for ourselves. It's just and it's a work in progress. I have to work on it every day, and some days it's really scary and I want to hide. I don't want to do it. It's too hard. I don't want to do it, but it's even harder and it hurts even more. It's more uncomfortable
if you don't.
To, once we're aware of it, once we're conscious of something, to just let it sit there unattended to.
So we've got 6 days planned, Dipika, of exploring this remembering and creating.
We do
our
great themes.
Great themes.
Such wonderful themes, all the R's, all designed to go internally. And, ultimately to remember.
That's right.
We can reclaim.
Yeah. So if you're feeling the calling, if you've got that yearning in your heart, that's why we've come on today. To awaken that permission within you to choose courage over comfort, to recognize the calling and to go, oh my God, that is me. And you know what? There is only today. And you know what? I am not only allowed, but I absolutely, I have to do this because, that's the only way that I can start to change the patterning, start to refill the cup, start to reclaim and rejoice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, Dipika, we will see these gorgeous people.
We will so very soon. We're a month away. And so there is still time and there are still a few spaces.
Still a few spaces
for people to join us. And if you're called to, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, if
Just
this speaks to you, just do it. But put yourself first in whatever you choose. Make sure it's from a place of self-love and self-care.
Mm. Thank you, Dipika.
Thank you, Robyn. Hey, I'll see you at retreat really soon.
See you at retreat very soon. Okay.